Jim, tu parli di sport, parli della tua esperienza nel tuo passato rispetto alla tua giovinezza. Hai detto di aver fatto quale sport?
Well, I started off with handball,
Handball, yeah.
and that was when I was in the Marine Corps. Handball, you actually hit a hard rubber ball with your hand.
Okay.
And as I got older, it hurt. So I switched to a game played on the same size court, same rules, called racquetball.
Racquetball. Yeah.
And racquetball is something that I loved and was my favorite form of exercise over the years.
Okay. Okay.
Io voglio iniziare da questo per parlare delle analogie fra sport e trading in termini di mentalità, perché mi piace molto, per esempio, leggere della mentalità dei grandi giocatori come Kobe Bryant o MJ Michael Jordan e come loro si comportano durante la propria preparazione di una partita, ma in termini di essere capaci di guardare i dettagli e contemporaneamente conoscere però anche l'avversario, qualche cosa di quello che hai detto prima quando parlavamo di trading, bisogna conoscere il proprio concorrente guardando ai dettagli. Puoi darci un po' della tua conoscenza rispetto a questo?
Well, to start with, one of the stories that I love, you mentioned Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's no longer with us. But there's a story a few years ago of one of the journalists was going to interview Kobe Bryant and ask him why he was the best in the world. And he was supposed to meet Kobe at, I want to say, 5 a.m. at a gym in LA. The reporter or the journalist got there at 5 a.m. Kobe is already sweating, wet. He's clearly been working out for a considerable period of time, and he's taking layups. And the journalist said, "You're the best in the world. Why are you taking layups?" And Kobe said, "Because I'm the best in the world." One of the things that you find, you talk to a professional athlete, is they never forget the basics. So many times in retail trading, the traders are seeking breadth. They want to know a lot about an awful lot of things. And so they don't concentrate on a few things, or they don't concentrate on the basics. You've got a professional athlete or a professional in anything. First of all, they'll have a real passion for what they do, not just words or a dream. They have a passion, and people with a passion understand what is required to be a professional in any field. I don't care if it's trading, athletics, law, medicine. You have to have a passion. It takes a considerable amount of work. And as my partner Jen says, education is layered. You have to get the basics. And once you get the basics, now you can start to add on another layer. You get that layer, that gives you a larger foundation to add another layer. In my first book, called Mind Over Markets, it's written from the point of view of becoming a concert pianist. And you start off with a piano and it's got just white keys and black keys. That's kind of a novice. Then you go to beginner, and your keys, your hands plunk out, some little ditty. When you get to competent, you can play Beethoven exactly as it's written. And of course, there's a lot of pianists that can play back Beethoven as it's written. But as you go to proficient and expert, the final stage in acquiring expertise in any field, you get to expert, you and the piano are one. What a lot of people don't appreciate, you get to competent, there's a set of rules or work that will get you to competent. But in order to go past that level, you have to jettison a lot of the things that got you to that center stage in order to advance to proficient and expert. It takes a tremendous element of confidence to give up something that got you halfway. I remember the story Tiger Woods years ago on the golf course. already had multiple records, and he changes his swing. And it did set him back for a period of time. But from there, he only got better. But just ask yourself, how much confidence does it take to change your swing when what you're doing is working? So there's a tremendous similarity between being a professional in any field. It's not just the dream, oh, I want to be a trader, I want to be independent, I want to make all this money. There's an awful lot of hard work. You read the stories of Kobe and Michael Jordan and Tiger Woods. They've won some big event and they're having a celebration inside, but yet they're out on the practice field or on the court practicing things that they didn't do perfectly in that game. That's a level of passion and desire that most people don't have.
Yeah, it's never enough.
It's a dream. It's a dream, but making the dream reality is a real undertaking.
Qualcosa che normalmente viene sottostimato. Quello che mi ha sorpreso o mi ha scioccato è che effettivamente queste persone hanno vinto tutto quello che potevano vincere, ma erano instancabili. È come se praticamente non fosse mai abbastanza, no? Si vuole il titolo successivo per essere 0,01% migliore ogni giorno. E quando noi dobbiamo vedere ciò che il mercato fa ogni giorno e analizzare, io penso che effettivamente ogni giorno c'è qualcosa di nuovo. Che ne pensi?
Years ago, I had a membership in a gymnasium in New Jersey. And behind the treadmill that I worked on was a sign, and it said, a year from now, you'll be glad you started today. And that goes back, and I don't recall the name of the book right now, but it's a book that talks about most people don't succeed because they give up too easily. But if you think about, if you make a 1% improvement a day, that compounds. A lot of people understand the compounding of interest. They've been taught that, but they don't appreciate the compounding of knowledge. But when you start and you only improve 1%, and then the following day you improve another percent, well, most people get very impatient and they give up on it before the compounding effect of learning has had a real chance to prove itself.
Ma ancora per concludere, tu suggerisci ai tuoi studenti o magari alle persone che ci stanno vedendo di studiare il training e di occuparsi di loro stessi in termini di sport, quindi iniziare a fare qualcos'altro mentre studiano trading. Quindi pensi che essere in buona forma fisica possa aiutarti a comprendere qualcosa di nuovo?
There was a book many years ago. The title of the book is Mentally Tough. And I believe the author's name was Jim Lohr. And I don't know if he still has a clinic down in Florida, but he worked with professionals. One of them at the time was one of the world's famous chess champions. The other was Agassi for tennis. And the amazing thing was the workout for both of those totally separate professions was the same. And part of the philosophy, what they talked about, is that the brain utilizes about 23 to 25% of your body's energy. So if you're not in good shape, you can tire easily. And whether it's sports or trading, it's tiring. So there is definitely, I think, a relationship between what it takes to be a professional in anything. But it's never going to hurt you staying in shape. If you're in shape, you have more stamina, you have more energy to use where you should. As I say, if it's using 23 to 25% of the energy of the mind and you don't have that stamina, it's going to be very difficult to compete.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sono Gianluca Lambusta, fondatore della Cenoki, trader professionista da 13 anni, faccio trading dal vivo ogni giorno.